Hello and welcome to the Inspiring Inkin YouTube channel and the Inspiring Inkin Facebook page. I'm Amanda Fowler. It's Tuesday, the 14th of February, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're here and watching live, can you please give me a light and sound check? And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for joining us. The first 20 minutes or so will be chat. And then I have got some crafting. I've also got a few hints and tips relating to this little awesome mini machine as well to share with you today. So I'm just going to check that I am live where I should be. I think so. But I seem to have the whole overexposed thing. I'm kind of glowing like luminescent. Hi Stella. Yeah, I did try changing the lights earlier and I thought I'd fixed it, but it seems not. Hi Susan. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, how are we? Tell me what you did at the weekend. And tell me if you've got any Valentine's Day plans today. I have to share with my international friends that Valentine's isn't really a big thing here in the UK. We have one Valentine usually. So we make one card and, have a special someone. But I know, particularly in the USA, that it's a much bigger thing. But yeah, so I got a lovely card from my husband, who obviously didn't sign it because it's supposed to be a surprise. It's either that or somebody broke into my house and left me a card written in my husband's handwriting by the kettle. Shows how well he knows me, because all I'll do in the morning is come up and actually go to the coffee machine, which is next to the kettle. So tell me if you've got any Valentine's plans, or any fun Valentine's gifts over the years. I am cooking tonight. Well, I cook most nights, to be fair. Well, one of us cooks, but I'm making one of Brian's favorite dinners, so that's good. And we exchange cards, so that's good. So let's have a look. Who else is here? Jan's here. Good afternoon. She's saying that sound and light is good. Thank you. She's saying hello to all the crafty friends. Karen from Kansas. Hello, Karen. Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us today. Karen from the UK, who's just up the road from me. Hello. Susan. Oh, that's awesome. She sends a card to her son. That's fab. Yeah, I used to do that when my kids were a bit younger. They've both moved out and they've got partners now. So I don't do that anymore. I did send them a happy Valentine's Day message today. Because, Donna is here from Australia. Chris and Angela in sunny Newbury. There was loads of fog earlier, Chris is saying. Yeah, sound is okay, but the focus is out. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Because if I get closer, I disappear. Oh, it's not one thing, it's the other, huh? Okay. Chris was making Easter cards for her fundraising show tomorrow. Hello, Margaret. Happy Valentine's Day. Hello, Michelle. She's just given her 30th blood donation. Well done, Michelle. Um, oh, that's awesome. Karen sends a card and a pair of socks with hearts on it to her daughter in France every year. I like that. That's a good tradition. I might have to instigate that. I mean, we all need socks. Judith says, phew, made it. Judith's been crafting with her granddaughters over in the Inspiring Inking Crafting Corner. Let me put my banner up. There you go. There. We've got a Facebook group where we hang out. So do come and join us. And Judith was sharing the cards that her granddaughters made, which was really, really cool. Ava and Emma were creating for their dad. In order to join the group, you have to answer 2 questions, and it's basically just to stop the bots, the spam bots coming in. So let's see. Oh, Karen's saying no real plans for Valentine's. You don't try and go out for dinner because of the crowds. Yeah. And they just make it so expensive, don't they? It's like a Valentine's dinner is like 3 times the price of a normal dinner. I don't know. It's not great, is it? But yeah, we're definitely staying in tonight. Hi, Antriana. Hello, Janet and Deborah. Oh no, Antriana. She's at home because she had an allergic reaction to antibiotics. Blimey, I hope you're feeling much better soon. Dino, hello. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so yeah, put in the comments if you've got any funny Valentine stories, or share with us what you might be doing on Valentine's Day today. And let me know what you did at the weekend, and I'll catch you up on what I got up to at the weekend. So it was my son Connor's birthday, not last weekend, the weekend before. So we went up to Sheffield to go and spend some time with him and his girlfriend Lydia. And we also visited Brian's mum and dad and family, kind of a bit on the way there and on the way back. Actually, it was whenever I go away for a few days to see family, we cram a lot in. Well, we did. So we visited with Brian's mum and dad on Friday afternoon. We spent Friday evening with Connor and Lydia. On Saturday, we did quite a big walk around Sheffield and into some of the parks. And my dad was born in Sheffield. So, and has lots and lots of stories to tell us about growing up in Sheffield and sledding down the big hills in the snow, and during the war, a plane coming down into the park and all sorts of things. So we managed to visit all those sites. So where he was born and where he used to go sledging, and where the plane came down and all sorts. And we had a lovely lunch, and then we went playing shuffleboard, which is awesome. I'm a convert. So if anyone's not played shuffleboard before, it's kind of like curling, but you just shove the counters from one end to the other end, and they can't go on the lines, and you get minus points and all sorts of stuff. It was a lot of fun. So next time we go on a cruise ship and we see the shuffleboard, we will play. So that was really cool. And then we went out for dinner to an amazing Turkish restaurant, and I can't remember what the name of it is. So when I remember, I will share it with you. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. amazing food. It was rammed. It was so busy, really, really full, which is basically because the food is so good. And then we kind of came back via Brian's mum and dad's. His sister had come over from France, and we saw his brother as well. So, whew, it was kind of a whirlwind. We got home, and it's like, okay, straight back into work again Monday morning. So, yeah, it was busy. It was really, really busy. So let's see how are we doing in the comments. I think, am I all caught up? Yeah, I think I am. Unless unless the comments have stopped again, which does happen. Has anyone played shuffleboard? You got any shuffleboard whizzes? I wish I could sort out this light. The thing is, if I move the lights, then when I'm crafting, there won't be enough light on the table, which will be annoying. So, I don't know. It's all quiet. Quiet in the comments. So I'm just going to check that I haven't frozen or done something really weird, because that happens too, doesn't it? Just checking. Why doesn't it show that? That's interesting. Yeah, no, good. Good. Yeah. I am live in the right place. Oh, look, I'm a bit closer. That is that a bit better, apart from the fact that my face is much closer to the, to the camera. Oh no. Oh no, Deborah. She's got snow. Well, it says only a dusting, but snow in Calgary. Thanks, Antriana. Thanks, Judith. I know, I get traumatized. Right. Okay, so I need to talk to you about see if it'll the Stampin' Up mini machine. Several reasons. The first is, if you join my team before the end of the month, you basically can get it for like half price or even free, to be honest. So, and you can pick the blue one. I've got a blue one as well, but you can have a white one or a blue one. But basically, if you join my team and pick that option, it's £125. You pick £170 worth of products, and there can be any products from the mini catalogue or the annual catalogue, and you get the mini machine as well. It's crackers, absolutely crackers. I mean, it's a really good deal, is what I'm trying to say, as opposed to it's crackers, but it is a really good deal. So please, if you have got an enormous wish list, and let's be honest, most of us do, if you've got an enormous wish list, or you're just thinking, do you know what, Amanda, I'm going to have a treat, or I'm actually going to save myself some money, because, the maths, £125 for £170 worth of products and a machine that's worth £59. It's very easy to do that maths, and it's a really, really good deal. The value is incredible. But there are other valuable things about joining my team. Firstly, you get to hang out with me and my amazing team more. We've got a Facebook group. I have craft alongs that are just for my team. They are different to my customer craft alongs. I have team days where the team all gather together. We go to events. We have a lot of fun. And and I'm pausing for breath because I've forgotten what I was going to say. Menopausal brain has a lot to answer for. And I've remembered now. And you get a discount on all your products going forward. And we get to see the new catalogue that isn't going to be launched for customers until May. We get to see it on the 28th of March. 28th, yeah, of March. That's very exciting. And we get to know stuff in advance as well, like new things and new stuff. So 1,000,001 really good reasons for joining my team. If you're interested, email me. Here we go. Where's my email address? Email me, amanda@inspiringinking.com. And I can send you some links if you're ready to join. We can chat on the phone or chat via email if you'd rather do that. And I can answer your questions and so on. But best deal ever. So please don't miss out. Only until the end of February. Okay, so let's go back. Hi, Cher. South Wales is in the house. Hello, hello, hello. Andriana's going early ordering. So if, like her, you suffer from a fear of missing out, you need to sign up. Which Andriana did. So there you go. So I want to talk about the mini machine because it's completely awesome, but it's also very, very strong. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. I'm going to hold it up a minute first. So if you've never seen our mini machine, actually, let me switch one of these lights off a minute and see if I can get rid of that glare. Oh, that might be a bit better. No. That's just so funny. Okay, so that's the mini machine. And you can see it fits in my hand. So it's really quite small. So firstly, look at that now. Firstly, if you've not got a lot of space to craft in, it's really awesome. The gap where you can put your dies in is a little over 3.5 inches or about 9 centimeters. So a huge amount of dies that you can buy will fit in the mini machine. And when you look in the annual catalogue, you will see that there are these little icons which say mini. So if it says mini, it means the dies from that entire set fit in the mini machine. Okay, so in order to make it work, you have to open up the 2 flaps and you crank it. Now, it has been designed to be really stiff and really strong. That's a great thing, but it can mean that sometimes it's so stiff, you have a little bit of a problem cranking it. So Stampin Up have made a few suggestions, which I'm going to share with you today. The first is to set up your plates when you're die cutting. Now, let me just see. I'm going to show you a picture in a second. So when you're die cutting, you have a white plate and you have 2 clear plates. And what they suggest is that you make it look like the letter E. So you have a base plate, then a cutting plate, but set back a little bit. So can you see there's a, this is no good with this thing. Urgh, driving me mad. Hang on. Let me put this behind it. That might help. Just reflecting. So yeah, so hopefully you can see there now. It's offset. Okay. And then when you put your second plate on, obviously where my fingers are right now is where your cardstock goes. And then you put your second plate up. Come on, camera, catch up. So it's the same place as, the same place as the bottom plate. Let me show you Stampin' Up's graphic instead. Let's do that. Okay, so hopefully, oh, I've got an itchy eye. Hopefully you'll be able to see. So basically it's offset. So you've got the white plate, then a cutting plate, and then a cutting plate over the top. And in a couple of minutes, I'm going to be actually die cutting to show you. Okay. Good morning, Cynthia. Indianapolis is in the house. Hello, hello. So hopefully you can see those images easily to see how to kind of set it up. So that's one option. Your second option, if that still feels like it's too thick when you're winding, instead of using the white plate, use the grey one. Okay, so officially the grey one is for embossing. But if your machine is uber tight, then try the grey plate instead. That works really well. And then last of all, when you're winding, quite often it's better if you are resting on the handle of the machine. So if you can, stand. But if not, just, I'll show you in a second, but just put your hands on the top of the machine, or one of your hands, and lean on it a little bit as you're winding. And it just helps keep the machine a little bit more stable. Yeah, because when you're winding and things are moving. So does that make sense? Basically, Stampin' Up's fault for making the machine too strong. But it's mini, but it's mighty. So you need it to be strong. But anyway, I will show you it in a minute. So let me just show you what we are looking at today. So I am going to be using this paper here. This is the Favoured Flowers 12 by 12, free with a £45 order during celebration. And it coordinates with this set, which is called the Fragrant Flowers. And you've got awesome dies as well. So it's really cool. But I'm not actually, apart from a greeting, not doing any stamping today. No stamping. So I'm going to have to switch that other light on, as otherwise you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. Let me switch out the camera. So move you out. Let's change the camera. Yay, there we go. Okay, So let me just show you this paper first. Do actually let me know if you can see everything. So this is the paper. Obviously, this is half a sheet. So they are 12 by 12. Now the colors in this are Fresh Freesia, Blackberry Bliss, Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, and Basic Black. So you've got the sort of rust tones and then the purples. So I'll show you all of the papers one side and then we'll show you them on the reverse. I think this one is my favorite. Love that. And the dies from that matching set cut out some of the flowers. Love that one as well. That's got both tones in it. And that one's got your full flowers. And I know it's quite dark, isn't it, with the Evening Evergreen and the black. And I know we're heading into spring, but actually I like the sort of, it's dramatic, isn't it? The darker colors. And then on the reverse, you've got much more generic patterns. So you've got like tile patterns. So that's a Calypso Coral, that's Fresh Freesia, that's Evening Evergreen, and I think that's kind of Old Olive-ish. Blackberry Bliss, Petal Pink, Evening Evergreen. Or it might be Mossy Meadow. Oh. No, it's not. It's Evening Evergreen. There was me getting confused. No, it's not. Basic Black, Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, and Petal Pink. Okay. So I'm going to be using those papers. And let me get this out. So for this particular card, I'm going to be working with the purples. So I've got a Blackberry Bliss card base, then an Evening Evergreen layer, and a Fresh Freesia layer. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Oh dear. You can't write it. I just put that down and the paper that was here just wafted off the back of the table. That's ridiculous. Okay, so I've got that. I have got a sentiment. So, oh, look, it's a new chamois. Da, da, da. Only been used once. Look, I get asked about this all the time. The chamois come in like a plastic bag. I buy these stamp cases. They come as a set of 4 from Stampin' Up. And I just keep it in there because then I can, when I've finished with it, I can close it and it's not sort of open on my table and getting everything else wet. But they do start out live purple. If you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that they don't stay purple for long. So I am using Stylish Shapes die, and I was very excited because I'm using, which one am I using? I'm using one of these. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to cut both. One of these dies for the sentiment, but I was very excited because even the biggest square and the biggest circle fit on the mini machine plates. So, you know, I understand that not everyone's got space for a big die cutting machine. Or if, like me, you end up crafting in a 6-inch square, having a mini machine means you've got enough space. So I'm going to show you again what I was meaning about those plates because the light is better now. So what Stampin' Up are suggesting that you do is you have your base plate, then your cutting plate, then whatever piece of cardstock you're cutting, and your die. And then this second plate matches the bottom plate. And I'm going to flip it over and show you. So it's like stepped. So what happens is when it goes into the machine, this bit squishes a little bit, and the rollers grab it, and then it's easier for it to go through. So that is awesome. Okay, so that's one option. If that is still a bit tough to run through, then what you want to do is instead of using the white plate, use your grey plate. And you're going to do exactly the same. Offset it a little bit and it will squish. Okay, so I'm actually going to do my stamping first. So on this card, I'm using this A Grand Kid and the Happy Birthday. And I'm actually going to do two because I haven't decided yet which sentiment, which size I'm going to use. So when you're working with your mini machine, just make sure that you're cutting your cardstock so it fits. Yeah. Which actually is a great plan because it means that you can use up your scraps as well. So let's stamp the Happy Birthday. I love this. How cool is that? That's Blackberry Bliss on Fresh Freesia. Really cool. Susan saying, oh yeah, she loves the chamois. That's going on her next order. It is awesome. But look, are you ready? Ta-da! Just makes me so happy because I know that's clean now. Awesome. Right. So let's pop that on there. We're going to put a Happy Birthday there. And we're going to put that one there. Okay. So because I am, where's my white plate? So I'm going to offset it like Stampin' Up says. Now, one thing to be aware of, let me just tilt that there. Make sure that the edge of your die isn't going off the edge of that white bit. So move it in a little bit if you need to. And then my second clear plate is matching the white plate. Come on, now I'm moving everything. Da-da-da. There is nothing better than trying to line up your dies when you are on camera. Da-da-da. Stay. Da-da. I'm not entirely sure it is. Not entirely sure it's straight. But never mind. Straight's overrated. Okay. So, as always, the awesomeness that is the stylish shapes dies is you've got this amazing edging. And you've got the edging on the outer bit as well. So you can use that on a different card. All right, let me pop these away. As otherwise they will get lost and I will be sad because I won't be able to find them. Put my machine away. Tiny footprint. Huzzah. Okay. Whoop. All went on the floor. Okay. So we'll pop that one away as well. I've got another stamp set here, which I will show you in a minute. It's what I've used for a second variation of this card. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the papers that have predominantly got the purples in them. So this one and this one. And although this has got some purples on it, that side, I actually like this shade here. And I might use a little bit of this one. But we'll see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my trimmer. And I'm going to cut some strips. Now the strips can be whatever width you want them to be. So you can have them sort of 3/4 of an inch wide, an inch wide, an inch and a half wide, an inch and a quarter wide, kind of whatever you decide. And you just want a few strips. So you don't want a huge number. And this card is called a Starburst card, which is a variation of a card that we've done a few years ago, which was a Sunburst. But I thought that you might like to see this one because it works a little bit differently. So there we go. So let's see. So we've got our strips like so, and we're going to cut them diagonally. So top left corner to bottom right corner. The easiest ways to do it is to line it up in your track on your trimmer. Line it up top and bottom. Now, because this is quite thin and it's patterned paper, you don't want to start from that corner because it's likely to ruck up and we want sharp corners. So what you want to do is slide your trimmer, so a trimmer blade, so it's kind of in the middle-ish, and then cut up and cut down. That way you'll get beautifully crisp edges on these really, really narrow bits. And you want to do that on all of them. That's another one. Woo! We won't need all of these, I know, but I like to I like to have options. So let's cut all of the ones. And again, for those of you that keep your teeny weeny scraps of paper, and I know you're watching because I have a spy camera and I can see. I can see in your craft room. No, I can't really. But crafters, we're all the same. We like to maximize our value with the things that we're doing. So it's really good for using up those scraps that you cannot bear to part with. Ooh. Let's just straighten that up. Ooh. Okay. Got one more to go. There we go. Okay. So now I am bringing in my silicone mat. Now this is amazing. It's 6-inch square. It is silicone, so it works really well as like a heat resist if you're heat embossing. But for this, it's really awesome because I'm going to glue, and the glue is going to spill over the edge. And working on the silicone mat means then when I lift it off, it's not going to tear the paper. You can see I've got kind of remnants of glue from other cards that I've done. All I do when I'm finished is just pop it into a bowl of soapy water and just give it a rub over, and it'll be clean and good to go. So I've got all of my strips, and I've got my stamped sentiments, and I've got my card and my base. Now, whatever standard size card base you've got, go 0.5 centimetre or 1/4 of an inch smaller, and then go smaller again. Now, this can be coloured or it can be white. It's absolutely up to you. I'm using the coloured, it's Fresh Freesia, because it just goes really nicely with this. And what you want to do is measure halfway. So I've got pencil, yeah. I know that this is 5 1/4. So halfway is 2 5/8. Doesn't have to be perfect, just ish will do. So I've marked the halfway. And what I'm going to do is play around with my strips, starting out with 1 on that center line. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm putting it so the narrow strip is on the right hand edge. So let me just pop that there. Narrow strips on that edge. And then I'm going to put another one down, and I'm going to leave a little gap. And then I'm going to find another one. This is the fun bit, you see. I'm just going to keep getting different pieces. Okay, so I'm going to go with that one. Like so. And let's try a light one. Oh, now you see that's really disappearing. So I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the Blackberry Bliss one. And then, using the different sizes means that you get a really interesting set of patterns. I'm going to go this way now. You can see why it's called a Starburst. I might have to cut some more. I am. I'm going to have to cut some more because I've run out of the purple. Okay, which one is it? It's that one. Okay. Chat amongst yourselves for a second. Let me just cut that and that. Yeah, I thought I was going to use 2 tones of the sort of patterned rather than the flowery one, but I am not. So let's go there. And there we go. And I'm just going to use that one. So okay, right. Here we go. So need another skinny one. And that one. And that one. And that one. So when you get to the corners, you will need some pieces that actually cover the whole corner. So you can obviously use these strips, but what you will need to do is make sure it covers over the whole of that corner. You don't want any kind of edges there. So you might not use the point of it. You might have to use that bit. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is slide these. So I've got all of them together under my hand. And I'm going to slide them up. So they're kind of in order. And I'm going to slide these down in order. Okay. Are you still with me? Does it all still make sense? And then, what you're going to do is you're going to get your Tombow glue or your other favorite glue. But as you know, this is my favorite and it works really well for this. So we're just going to pop it down. And then we are just going to work our way down to the bottom and then up to the top. You're going to leave the same gap each time. Ooh. Let me bring that up. Hi, Lorraine. Apparently it's sunny in Poole. There you go. So there's your gap. Whoop. Well, it's going to go quiet now because I'm concentrating on my gluing. I've got Tombow on my fingers. And obviously, the further towards the bottom you get, the less glue you actually need to put down. The less gluing you actually have to do. Okay, and then that piece, I'm just going to tear that off, and that's going to work there, and it's going to cover over the whole of that corner, and we're going to trim it all off in a second, so it will all be good. Okay, so next up, we're going from the middle up. Uh-oh. Right, that was a huge blowout of glue. Yeah, if you're using Tombow, just go steady. Don't put way too much on. Let me just move that down a bit. But that's the beauty of it. You can just move your glued pieces. Such a fun way of using your scraps. And then let's have a look. Yeah, I'll pop that bit there. There we go. Okay, so it, it looks huge, doesn't it? It's not going to stay huge. Okay, but what I am going to do is get a piece of grid paper to capture all of my gluey bits in a second. So all of these extra bits, I'll just put in a bag and then use them on the next card. So it's very straightforward to just kind of keep recycling. And I've gone very tonal. This is this is very much an Amanda style card, isn't it? I've gone very, very tonal. But just imagine what you could do with rainbow colors or reds and oranges and yellows and pinks and purples. Just lots of fun. So what you're going to do is just lift this up. And like I said, you can get that washed. And then use your scissors to trim this off. Now, if you're not very steady with your scissors, use your trimmer. But what I suggest that you do, if you're going to do that, is you cut this piece a little bit bigger than you need it to be, and then trim the whole thing down. I've got these big bladed scissors, which means it's quite easy for me to get a nice straight edge. Now, these little bits that have got glue on, they're actually really quite difficult to use again. The tiny bits. The longer bits are easier, but these little teeny tiny bits, I wouldn't try and reuse them. I know we like to be frugal, but you'll get yourself into a sticky mess, which is why I've put it on some grid paper. And so there is your finished Starburst. Isn't that cool? It's so cool. So we then need to decide which sentiment we're going to have, whether we're going to have this one or the bigger one. Oh, so it's going to lay on there and on there, I think. Big one, little one. What do you think? Well, I'd just try and rub my hands and get my glue off because everything's sticking to everything. Margaret's saying it's an amazing effect. It's so cool, isn't it? It's like one of those amazing eye pictures, you know, that you look at and you see different things. Little one, little one, little one. Yeah. Hooray. That's where I was going. So that's good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dimensionals on. Yeah, look at that. Everyone's saying little one. So I'm going to put dimensionals on. I'm going to cut off this flag end bit. So I'm just going to pop it. I think I can get one more on there. just like that. So I've stuck it down and then I'm just trimming off that bit so it's got its flat edge. And then I'm going to lay it on that evening evergreen layer. And then, thank you everyone. I'm so pleased you like it. And let's pop that down there. Oh, nearly. Nearly. That's what happens when you're too busy reading the comments and not paying attention to what you're doing. That wouldn't have been good, would it? You would have laughed with me. It would have been fine. So there we go. Look. That's super cool. So I have another one to share with you using the other papers. So if you remember, there's the fresh freesia and the blackberry bliss sort of purple ones. But then here's the other version, which is using the Calypso coral and the petal pink. And I've used part of a circle on this one. The same die set, but a different stamp set. And that's this stamp set, which is called limited edition. And this is a great stamp set because it's got a paper hug from me, which is the stamp that I've used. But it's also got some lovely things to stamp on the back of your cards. And if you sell your hand stamped cards, we have something called an angel policy, and you need to put a copyright stamping up on the back. That's basically just to protect the artwork. So this has got loads of different sentiments in, but even if you don't do that, these are lovely things, you know, made with love. So there you go. So there's the purple one. And there is the Calypso coral one. And you can see the differences as well. These are much wider strips. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on this one. And yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 on this one. So you can see how different the Starburst effect is depending on what size strips you cut in the first place. So there you go. So that is today's craft and chat. I hope you have enjoyed the cards, and if you would like to purchase any of the products that you've seen today, you can pop over to my blog, which is www.inspiringinking.com, and there'll be clickable links and links to my online store so you can get all of the products that you've seen today. I will be back next week, but in the meantime, if you decide to give any of these cards, techniques, anything that you've seen on my channel, do send me some pictures. Let me just pop my email address up. Send me pictures of what you've made. I would love to see them. And also then I can share them with everyone else. So I've kind of figured out the technology so I can actually share pictures of things that you've created. So do send me things that you've made. So let me just check on the comments. Yeah, I think we are all good. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch, and I will see you all again soon. Goodbye.